right. Good morning, everybody. We're back. We're back to it live today, February 12th. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Crazy CPI print this morning. What do we got here? Wow. About 300 points. Pretty insane. How much is NQ down? About 1%. We came down all the way to the pivot point on the 30-minute around 21,500. I was tempted to long on this second test, but because we were so close to the open and it's CPI, we're going to take it easy today. CPI news, a lot of volatility. Let's not go too crazy. Good morning. Good morning to everybody that's tuned in. Welcome to the stream. What am I looking at? I'm looking at this pivot point around the 500 area. It's a good support and resistance zone from the past. We got to see what resolution we're going to have here. CPI brought us all the way down. That was a CPI print. CPI print brought us down all the way down to 500, and now we've been trying to bounce. However, it's been a weak bounce. Now you can also look at it as we came back, tested, the area held, and now we're pushing to the upside. So we'll see what happens during the open. It is CPI. Not sure I'll be going too crazy on with trades today. Although it's not moving. NQ for the last all of this week and probably since Thursday, Friday last week has been moving very slow. I have not made much money between Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday this week. It's been painfully slow, just a couple $100 here and there. Nothing too crazy. Good morning, Barts. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Let's see what we got going on here today. CPI print is all the way down to 500. We're technically around 1% down right now. What am I looking for in the open? The test. Are we going to take a nice little pullback to test the 500 and then bounce, or possibly continuation? Notice this magenta level, and this level right here is where CPI print brought us right down to. So I'd like to see momentum. The problem is this week has been a non-momentum in terms of price action. It's been very slow all of this week and Thursday, Friday last week. So we've had some very slow movements. NQ really hammering down on your patience. Some of these plays, I was in a play yesterday for about close to 2 hours. It finally played out in my favor with a flush, but there was a long consolidation zone. It's been like that, like I said, since last Thursday, Friday. Very slow movements, long consolidations. The play doesn't happen. If your timing is early, you may be stuck in a trade for about an hour before you get a resolution on direction. So it's been an interesting week. Even after this CPI print, we're not aggressively moving. So it's telling me that we're probably going to see another day of very slow price action, which would be painful for me. It's also CPI. These are the days you got to be careful. These are the days you blow accounts. So I'm not going to go too crazy. I'd like it to be a one trade and done day. I may, depending on the loss, leave it at win or lose one trade and just call it a day, and I'll hang out here on the stream. But we'll see what the open, we got 3 minutes. I'd like to see what the open does in terms of this area, the pivot point right here at 500. If you look at the 30-minute, you got the pivot point right there at the 500. We had a full reset on RSI on all levels. So that does not mean anything. You can continue to be with the lowest RSI and continue to the downside. So I just want to see the fact that we didn't bounce, that we had such an aggressive move to the downside and did not bounce stronger. Usually on CPI days, you have, full reversals even pretty quickly. Good morning, Nayev. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Anybody new out there, welcome. So that is what I'm looking at with this insane, well, not insane, probably 300 points to the downside and the lackluster of a bounce. But the entire week has been lackluster. We haven't had really strong movements like we're used to with NQ. So it's been a patience game with NQ for this week for sure. And this bounce, I don't know. We did come back and test it. We bounced a little bit. We're coming back down. So maybe the open will give us a little ideas on what is going to happen at the 500. Are we going to come back down maybe to test, the next pivot point? You're talking about 385. So it's going to be a day of patience. I don't see any quick withdraw trades right off the bat. However, this level, if it truly holds, we're not seeing momentum to the upside. If it truly holds, can be the area for the bounce. So, Shark Trends, what's up? What's up? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Let's see what I got here. All right, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. So let's see what happens. We're going to be a little more patient than usual because it's CPI day. Unfortunately, my 200, my 20 SMA plays are not really consistent throughout time zones with the flush of that CPI print. So I'm going to have to be a little patient to find, what it is that I'm looking for. All right. Uneventful open. Again, it's been very slow lately. So it's going to be a day of patience. I'm not going to jump in today as you guys are used to seeing me on the open. I'd like to see what's going to happen in this area. I'd like a pullback to test the 500 again and see if we hold. But again, it's been very, very slow. Very slow this week. Not my price action for sure. Good morning to everyone. All right, so we came up and tested the 15-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute pivot point at the 570 area. Got rejected there pretty quickly. And then, like I said, we need resolution here. Okay, so we had a nice test here with a bounce. Is this CPI print it? I mean, it came in pretty hot, 300 points. We're down 1% on the NQ. Or are we going to have some type of bounce here, which is what I'm looking for. Trader 1310, welcome everyone to the stream. Okay, so we came back, notice this magenta level, this level right here is a strong support and resistance area from the 4-hour. So I'm watching for resolution of this whole area. Are we going to flush below that? Are we going to come back and test the lows, possibly that pivot point at 500, and then take the bounce? Or come back, test, consolidate, and come back down. So it's going to be a tricky day to trade. Patience. You may see me here for an hour before I even take a trade, even if I take a trade. With CPI, you got to be careful. These are the days that you can get trapped pretty quickly, get it into emotional revenge trading, and that's not what you want to do. Today, what am I trading? I'm trading I think I'm trading like 6 or 7 Apex evals, working slowly towards getting those to funded. I think I need another $4,000 to hit profit goal, $3,000. All right, so we got the nice bounce at the magenta level, at this level right here. That's the initial play. See if it holds. Based on the initial bounce on that CPI print, this is what we're looking at right now. We're at the top of that price range right now. We're trying to see if we can push up above the initial bounce. failed to push above the initial bounce, coming back to test magenta, possibly even that pivot. I'd like to test all the way down here to 500 and see a strong bounce. But if I'm not seeing price action, in other words, stronger bounces, this is just another repeat of that Monday. I mean, all of this week, really. Without price action, slower movements, I tend to stay away. It's been a very tricky week to trade. Like I said, yesterday I got stuck in a close to 2-hour trade in a consolidation zone before we got the flush to the downside. And even the flush was only like, what, 50, 60 points. Walked out into green, but it took, that was way longer than I wanted to be in. So good morning. Good morning to everyone. All right, so now we are testing the initial bounce area on that CPI print. We are coming back to a previous supported resistance zone here at the 620. It's going to be very tricky today. Good afternoon from Germany. Welcome to the stream, Trader 1310. Good to see international traders here as well. All right, we're coming to test the 600. We've now positioned above the 560, 570 pivot point on your lower time frames. And we're coming to this initial bounce area. Are we going to continue to the upside? Not much going on. All right, tested the top of that range. Looks like we have initial rejection. Wrapping some longs maybe. Or just a friendly little pullback to gain some liquidity to the upside. All right, so we noticed that we attempted to push above the initial bounce area, got quickly rejected, at least initially. We're down about 25 points. Again, I would have loved to seen the pullback down to this 500 area for a potential long. Looks like it happened in this little consolidation zone. That was the area of the bounce, but let's continue to watch. Very slow, very slow. Slow grinds, but it's just adjusting to these slow grind days. All right, so now we're attempting to push above that. Mikey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Well, I know you've been here a couple times. All right, continue to push up. Testing that 600 level. Are we just going to continue and push above 600 and possibly go right back to where we started up at the 800 levels? Or are we prepping for sharper pullback to the downside? Appreciate you, Mikey. Thanks for tuning in. And for everybody new to the channel, thanks for tuning in. My name is JC. I trade NASDAQ NQ futures every single day. PR77, hello, welcome to the stream. All right, is this going to be another, what is it, day 3 or 4 of slow grind days to the upside and just not quick movements? Get into a long and ride it for a good hour and walk out with 60, 80 points? I don't do well in those type of days. I'd like to see more price action here. I'd like to see a stronger pullback first before I enter a long if it's truly going to be a long day. But we've had days with very minimal pullbacks and just up, 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 up. All right, I do see some struggling here. And continuing to push. The next area of resistance would be the 640 level, where you have the 20 SMA, the VWAP creeping around the 670 area as well. So let's see. Continues to push. Just don't trust CPI days. Today's not the day to trade, and if you are going to be trading, be very, very careful and keep very tight stops. Now it's trying to position on this little level that I have here, the 620, 630 area. Initial pullback, about 10 points, nothing significant. Does look like it's going to continue to push to the upside. The next true test is really here at the 630 area, where you have the 20 SMA now providing some resistance. If it's going to push to the upside, it's going to need some strength. So this will be a good indicator of how, if NQ is really chasing 700 right now and above. Phoenix AVS, welcome to the stream. It's pushing. Probably going to be another one of those days where it just keeps pushing up with no pullback. I'd like to see it pull back before I hop on. All right, right now, 20 SMA being tested right here around the 630 area. We could have an initial pullback. I'd like to see a stronger pullback, and if it's one of those days that it just keeps pushing up with no pullback, it's going to be tough to get into a trade for me like that. Keeps pushing. All right. Gonna be another one of those days, no pullback. But at this point, I can't FOMO in. And it keeps pushing. So again, VWAP would be around the 670 level, which is this magenta area up here. See what happens there. Yeah, so you got the next pivot point at 680. You got VWAP at 670. So you got two areas of confluence right there on the 670, 680 area for a potential pullback. So let's watch that 670, 680 area. And you got, like I said, 670, 670, 670, 680. You got pivot point and VWAP. So Robert Lee, yep, you got your fib retracement there as well. So this area will be interesting to see what happens here. Attempted to touch VWAP. Bulls are being relentless. Is it going to be another one of those days with no pullback and all you had to do was enter on a long? All right, we're hitting VWAP right now at 660, 670, and then you got pivot point also at the 680 level. So this area right here, I mean, if we continue to push, wow. Going to be tough to short this. Friend is your friend. All right, a little slowing down here, but still pushing. All right, it's come down to VWAP. We're going to attempt a little short here, playing the rejection of VWAP with a very tight 20-point stop. And it keeps pushing. Got stopped out. So we're going to keep pushing. Now the question is, wait for a pullback. Now we've touched pivot point, and it looks like we're going to blast right through that pivot point. We got the 200 SMA up there at that 713 level. So that could be another potential shorting area. Or it's just going to be one of those days that this is just going to continue to push up. All you got to do is FOMO in on a long, and you're good to go. May attempt another short, and that would be my second and last trade for the day. Again, trading against the trend here. But I don't like to FOMO in. I'd rather take a rejection area and grab a quick little play to the downside. But it's been grinding to the upside all week with very minimal pullbacks. Try another short here. Playing the rejection at the pivot point and the VWAP. This will be the second and last trade on CPI, especially 2 losing trades. I'll just admit that the trend is to the upside and no significant pullback yet. Bulls have been relentless this week, last couple of days for sure. Without giving significant pullbacks. And forget about the pullback. There you go. It's not happening. It's going to be another one of those days with no pullback and just long it. Bulls have been relentless with their pullbacks this week. They have not given up. Any pullback really gets bought up pretty quickly. And I think I'm going to get stopped out one more time. Here we go. We're attempting to reject initial rejection at the at the VWAP and the pivot point. But it's not a sharp pullback. It's not, the pullbacks that I like to see. And this is what NQ has done all week. It's every pullback gets bought up pretty quickly. And I've had trouble trading that style of movements. Sure, you can just FOMO in on a long, but the contrarian in me likes to go. Now, if we do get the pullback, I mean, 2 things. Obviously, I can get stopped out. If we do get the pullback, I don't think I'm going to test my luck too much beyond the touch of the 20. That's assuming it gets bought right back up. That's what we've seen all week. Bulls have been relentless. Not giving up any pullbacks. And stopped out. So that's 2 trades during CPI, $800 loss day. That is going to be it. Obviously trying to trade against the trend. Yeah, like I said, the easy plays have been this week is just long it. It just keeps going up, keep grinding up. Now we're testing the 200. And just when everybody says there's got to be some pullback, NQ has not given any significant pullback the whole week. And the couple of pullback that's given, it's based on perfect timing and you get a flush and then right back up. So it's been very quick directional plays with NQ. Other than that, you've had these grinds to the upside with very minimal quick price action, which is what I like. So right now, two trades, about 800 bucks down on all of them. So what is it? 7 accounts, $5,600 in the red right now across all. Got to go 7 or 8 accounts that I'm trading. Next level that I'm looking at here is the 200 SMA. But it's obviously it's this week. NQ has not been respecting really any of these levels. It's been blowing right through or grinding right through without seeing true pullbacks. So could be early. Could be a patience game. Might try one more. Another attempt for a pullback, bought right back up. I guess we are going to be testing that 700 level. And bought right back up. No. Bulls have been pretty relentless this week. I'm not even going to trade my funded accounts today, Tradeify or Tick. All right, let's see if this is prep for the pullback now here at the pivot point. See if this gets bought right back up. Every pullback or attempt at a pullback has been bought up pretty quickly. So now we are pretty much in an area where everything is merging. I'm going to try one more short trading against the trend. But like I said, it's not that you're trading against a trend. You're fine to try and actual setup versus just FOMOing in on the move to the upside. But bulls have not given that play this week at all. Here we go. That pullback was going to be bought right back up. Interesting. And bought right back up. Bulls are being relentless on the pullbacks. Look at that. Went down 30 points and right back up. Not giving up any significant pullbacks yet. All right. Let's see. If this does not get bought up, I may try another short here. I'm going to watch what happens here. Nope. Getting tight. So it could be an explosive move to the upside or to the downside. Cheaper trade again is the downside, but I'm 2 strikes already. Maybe I'll go for 3 strikes and you're out. And then the 20 SMA is right here. So are we just going to come back down and bounce off the 20? That's not what I'm interested in right now. All right, we're going to try one more short. I need a strong push to the downside. Whatever it is, up or down, it's going to be pretty drastic. It's getting very tight. So we'll see. If it gets bought right back up, then it is what it is. That's 3 strikes. I'm out for the day. Nope. Bulls are not letting, they're defending that 670 area pretty good. They're just not giving it up. And if we see another bounce here to the upside, this thing's going up with no significant pullback. And we've seen it the whole week, to be honest. It's not something new. Bulls have been relentless for the last couple days. Look at that. Defending that 670 area to the T. They don't want to let it go. Bears are trying, but that 670 area is like an iron wall right now. And the bounce. Okay, here we go. Recover maybe a little. We need to flush below the 20 with strength. If this is just a little flush and then the 20 SMA pulls it back, we'll see the stronger bounce potentially stopping me out. But we'll see. Let's see what happens here. You know, we may come down and test the initial bounce area, this becoming now support for the move to the upside. But I don't know if the bears are going to have enough strength. The 20 SMA looks like it's holding. It needs to have sharper movements to the downside. I need at least 2-3 candles in the red to be who knows, we might get it. Just not the strength that I'm used to seeing. This can easily bounce. Stronger flush. Right now, price action is so attached to the 20 SMA. The 20 SMA providing that magnet, it just needs to really flush. If the bears are going to do this, they need to flush with strength right now. Stronger, stronger. Weak. Weak. Just way too weak. Need stronger flushes. Depending on what happens here at this area, right? Are we going to get the bounce and then just come back and test the 20 SMA? That's the problem with price action. It just hasn't given us strong movements to the downside this week. You know, you've had little flushes that get bought right back up. So we'll see. We'll be patient on this one. Not the price action I'm used to. In other words, I like stronger, faster plays, but I'll entertain a slower move to the downside. All right, this level proved to be nothing really on the flush down. So maybe we might test this initial area that was providing resistance that we broke through. I could see it coming down here. Now, if it does a flush, if it even comes to this area and you see a strong flush, then we're just going to retest the original CPI print, which would be a nice play. But it looks like we're coming to this area that is providing a little bit of initial support. We could bounce here, or we need a stronger flush to get us to this level right here, and I'll probably close. Because I was significantly in the red, I might have to close this to just walk out with a scratch trade for now, and then either call it a day or find another setup. Decisions at this level, which is providing the initial support. Because I was in the red, I may have to make a decision here to break even or be a little patient and let the play continue. Where are we in terms of levels? We still have some room for further downside. But again, it's the slowness that I don't like. I just hate being in 10, 20-minute trades. Okay. Like I said, if we get the true flush at this support area, which doesn't look like we're going to get it, this can continue to the downside. The problem here is we may get a pullback, or a bounce rather, before we get the flush. And I'll have to make some decisions, take it a scratch, reduce my loss for the day, or be a little bit patient here and let the full pullback play out. Here we go. This is the area. I'd love to see a flush below that support area, right? Because this was the resistance area that we broke through. Now we need to test that this support area becomes resistance. So we'll see. But we may not get as far down there on this run because NQ moves slow, or has been moving slow. So I may have to close, walk out with a little bit of, or at least a scratch trade. Problem is, it becomes a patience game here, and I'm not sure I'm ready to have this thing bounce on me all the way back up 50% of this move. If I wasn't in the red to start with, then I could be a little more flexible. Problem is, I was in the red, so we'll see. All right, I do see it struggling here, and I'm not interested in the bounce. I need you to flush to this support area right here. It's trying. Come on. Keep pushing. I know you want it. I know you want it. Give it to me. There you go. All right, this is the area that's going to be very interesting. If we don't see a bounce here, we just flush, we're going to be testing the CPI print. All right, there we go. Flush right there. Flush or I'll close you out. Flush. Flush. Don't bounce on me. Flush. All right, I'm going to call it a trade. So, all right, we've recovered a little bit of that. It didn't flush. Let me close some things here as well. So we're about $400 now in the green across all accounts. We caught the flush. The learning lesson here is maybe patience, right? We came to the, what was it? The 20 SMA, then the VWAP, and then the pivot point. Really, the short was the pivot point, and that was the true short here. Now we've come to this level that I've identified here. It did provide the support, and noticed on this flush that was just taking out stops. It was not going to continue for further downside, at least on this play. And because again, I was in the red already, there's no point of taking it all back and being in the red again. Walked out with $450 in the green now, and we'll have to wait for the next setup. If this is going to continue to the downside, I could see the test of the CPI print down here, and then a bounce. But we'll be a little more patient. It's been a patience game this whole week. I struggle with slow moving NQ, but again, these levels. They're levels, they're areas, right? You can short here. Okay, I could add a wider stop, but then potentially could have continued to the upside. So 2 trades, 2 tight stops. Third trade, that was the pivot level, and that proved to be the play. Learning lesson is NQ is moving very slow, even on these like pullbacks. You got to really let the levels play out before you enter up or down. So I think this was more of a timing, right? This was my initial short. That was a good stop. Second short, stopped out again, and then finally saw this area. This was the true topping, not this area. This is where it faked me out. This was not the topping. These wicks right here were the identifier for the short. Shorted it, got a little confirmation there. Got pushed up a little bit, but that was a nice, what was it? 50 points on that, a little bit more maybe. Oh yeah, 50 or 60 points, I think. So that was a nice 3-to-1 trade, risk to reward, and recovered the losses because I kept a tight stop on the other two. So you're not always going to be in the green, but if you keep if you keep your trading 1 to 3, 20 points or whatever range. I don't like to use points. I like to use levels. As long as your stop is within a level. And true, if it wasn't CPI, I got to be honest with you, I probably would have taken this drawdown to finally get the play, because you're trading the chart. You're not necessarily trading points. All right, so this area is interesting. We're trying to get some resolution. I can see how we're going to continue to flush. This area is trying to provide support, but we may see the bounce here. Now, will I short it again to chase the CPI print? No. At that point, let it flush whatever it's going to do, and then we'll have to figure out if this is a long or we're in for more downside. If I even want to trade anymore, this is technically my third trade on CPI. Do I need to be this aggressive, right? Okay, now we're testing this previous area of resistance. This is the breakout zone for that play, so we need to come down and test it. Are we going to bounce to the upside, or are we just going to flush? And this whole bounce play was a dead cat bounce on the CPI print. All right, so initial bounce at this previous resistance area that became support to the upside. That was where the bounce happened, and it looks like we want more. We may come back down and test the CPI print. That would be a full reversal, and then decisions, what's going to happen there. Thanks, Phoenix. Yeah, that short, man. Like, it's got to happen. All right, so we're at the breakout zone, and that breakout zone looks like it's providing or attempting to provide some support, but I could see how this is going to flush to test the CPI print again, or the bottom of that CPI print. This was the initial breakout area, and in true NQ fashion, you break out, you come back and test the breakout area. And, if we get a strong bounce here, I might get interested in a long. This could be the pullback. If we're truly in a directional bull day, then this could have been the pullback needed for the bounce to the upside. But it's not a strong bounce yet. At least not the bounces I like seeing. Again, NQ has been moving very slow, everything is been different for the last, definitely this whole week and Thursday, Friday last week. Good thing it's not as choppy for sure. We had some crazy choppiness Monday and Tuesday. So you are getting some directional plays, just not quick. And this is a patience game. Patience, patience. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the stream, do me a favor, smash that like, smash that subscribe button, and more importantly, hit that notification bell so that you get notified when I post content. You guys can also join my Discord. I'm not really posting much yet, still building the community first, but over time, I want to get a nice community of traders in that Discord, experienced traders, new traders, bounce ideas off of each other, and do what I would hope everyone loves to do, which is trade futures. All right, so there's that bounce off of the previous breakout area. If we extend this, you'll understand what I mean. And we're coming to test the 20 SMA. 20 SMA being that purple line. Purple line meaning this line right here. And the 200 SMA. You guys know I use 20 and 200 SMA as my main indicators along with pivot points and VWAP. The reason I was shorting here, I saw the resistance of that 200 SMA. Not only did you have the resistance of the 200 SMA, you had pivot point area and you had VWAP. Initial timing on this was probably a little too early and too fast. The third entry proved to be the right entry with very minimal drawdown. In other words, taking heat on that trade. The third trade was beautiful, 50, 60 points, I think it was, and I recovered the loss and ended up $450 in the green. But all of these are based on, pivot point, VWAP, and 20 and 200 SMA, the way they move with each other. Okay, so now we've broken. So we came back and tested the breakout area. Basically, NQ is saying, yeah, that breakout area is good. And now we have to see resolution of the 20 SMA. Do the bulls have continuation above the 20 SMA with the 200 still providing that wall of China up there? If we continue to push above VWAP, 200 and pivot point, that's the 680 level right here. This area has a lot. It's an area of confluence. You got VWAP, you got the 200, you got the pivot point at 680. You got three indicators, you can call it. That's a huge area of confluence. It's going to require strength for the bulls to push above that. I could see this as another push up here and then another pullback. So we're in testing zones mode. It's testing this area, who's going to win? right? And that could be a consolidation zone for a good hour or two, like it's done for the last week. You enter these consolidation zones. But those are, if you know how to range trade, this could have been a long and you're playing it to the top of this range. And then, depending on what happens there, you can short it again. But CPI, I don't know. I think with 3 trades, I may be done for the day. Today is all about timing. This whole week has been all about timing. You could have the right idea, but you got to let NQ kind of figure out its levels to determine which is the right area to long or to short. Although on this initial short, I was playing a rejection of, I think it was the 20 SMA at the time, or the VWAP. It did push above VWAP, and we know that. NQ will come to VWAP, give you a nice little push, indicating that we're going to push above VWAP and maintain position above VWAP, and then you see the initial rejection. So it's all about timing. It's all about patience. But if you trade the chart, your chances are a little higher. So we're pushing up with strength now. This is NQ. These are the NQ movements I like. That would have been a nice long here, huh? 60, 70 points in 4 minutes. That's strong. So the volatility is there, and it's directional. We're not seeing too much chop, so that's good. All right, we're coming to that pivot point, 680. VWAP touch right now. 200 SMA, at least on the smaller time frame, being tested right now. If the bulls push through this, then if I want to get in on a long now, because now we're trying to confirm that this is a directional day to the upside, I got to find the next pullback. So I could see how this comes and test this. Oh, that's a strong move up there. What other levels would I have? Probably the 730, 740 level for another pullback to test this area. This area would be the long on a pullback, but we'll see. We're testing 200. Let's see if there's enough strength to push above this. We got pivot point here. We got VWAP. We got 200 SMA. Strong area of confluence. You need strength to push through that. That was the initial reason I shorted. When you have an area of confluence like that, you got 200 SMA resistance, pivot point resistance, VWAP resistance. On the initial, well, you can't say on the initial push of that area, very rarely, unless you got a news. That's why I was banking on this is going to be a significant pullback, right? But now we're testing it. I'm not going to short here just because it's an area of confluence. That's the initial test. Now we've tested the breakout area. We can blow right through this area. It only works on the initial test. Same thing here on this bounce, right? That's the initial test of this bounce area. If we come back down here, that doesn't mean it's going to bounce right then and there. We could have continuation to the downside. So you always got to play the initial test of areas. The problem with my trading this morning was a little too quick, too quick on the trigger. Let the zone play out. And if I am going to play the zone, wider stop, right? Did I need to take those 20 points? Well, yeah, that's the right way to trade. But at the same time, you're trading the chart. I should have given myself a wider stop with the 200 SMA truly as the stop. Anything that breaks above the 200 at that point on an initial test, yeah, that's invalidating that short. My shorts weren't invalidated. It was just the timing of the right area within that price range of resistance. Okay, so now we're trying to position above the 200. It's now positioned itself about VWAP, above pivot point, and the 200 SMA. So this is shaping out to be a long. The question is, can I get a pullback? Where, how far is this going to go up? I could play the break of the 200 SMA here, but that's a little too risky. I don't like longing a resistance area. I'd rather wait for a pullback and then push up. There we go. There's the breakout above the 200. You are now comfortably above pivot point. I'm going to be patient on the next trade if I even take a fourth trade. So 200 SMA. This is the first time it's touched the 200 SMA. I could see a little bit of a rejection here or initial pullback, and that's what I'm looking for. If I can get a pullback to this level here with the 20 SMA, I'd consider long. Gotta be patient here. Again, bulls have been relentless this week. We got that initial pullback, but they haven't given up pullbacks, at least those significant pullbacks, that easily. All right, here's that push above the 20, above the 200 SMA. You got your next pivot point at the 770 area. Strong push. Bulls are in control, man. Now we're hitting VWAP on the 15-minute. But bulls have not cared about VWAP, 20 SMAs, any indicator for this week. They just keep blowing through it, areas of confidence. So we may come back where was the CPI print? We were at around 830. So it looks like this is going to be a full reversal on CPI print, bringing us all the way back to 820, 830. Wow. Bulls are in control. Crazy. What, did Trump have a tweet? Was that what that pump was? A Trump tweet? All right, so we've hit 20 and VWAP on the 15-minute. Initial rejection there. But it's tough to short this. Can't push my luck with the bulls today. I'm gonna be a little patient. I'm definitely not trading my funded accounts today on CPI. It's not. Too much craziness. So that was a 100-point bounce from the test here. And we're now initial pullback from VWAP and 20 SMA on the 15-minute. But that means nothing today with these bulls, man. They're just blowing through levels like it's butter. Well, that could be it for me as far as trading. 3 trades, 2 in the red, 1 in the green. Tight 20-point stops. And that third trade, nice 3-to-1. Risk to reward, which recovered the whole loss. And $450 in the green across all 7 accounts that I was trading today. slowly getting to profit goal on those Apex. I have 5 Apex performance accounts. Those are 50Ks. I'm trying to work on 7. I think that's what I'm trading today. 7 150Ks. I'd like to get more Apex PAs. I did get paid on Apex this month with my 5 50K PA. So it looks like they are paying. So that's what I wanted to test. Get my first payout for the year. That was this week, approved and all that good stuff. But I still don't promote or affiliate with Apex, although I've gotten paid. I know there's a lot of traders out there who aren't. But with 5 accounts, $2,000 on each one and getting paid, that's what I'm working on. These 150Ks, which you saw me trading today, those have a profit goal of 9,000, and I'm going very slow, not pushing it at all. Preparing those probably for March. Hopefully I can pass these in February, and then March work on payout on the 150Ks with Apex. Tradeify, I think I have another week of trading for February's payout. It's been kind of slow with Tradeify and Tick this week, just because of the market. Not rushing it at all. So working on more payouts for February. And then Topstep, I finally blew a 50K that was in the red, and just didn't make it. I do have the 150K, but I only took a $1,500 payout from Topstep last month, and nothing yet this month with one Express account that I have with them. I struggle with Topstep because of their daily drawdown limit on Rhythmic, because I refuse to use Topstep X. But I am making it a point to get a little better with Topstep. Topstep pays, but if you're going to trade them with Rhythmic, you just have to deal with that daily loss limit. Okay, here we go. So we're trying to figure out if we're going to bounce above this area or take another pullback. But anyways, anybody new to the channel, to the stream, welcome to my stream. My name is JC. I trade NASDAQ NQ Futures every single day. I bring you the wins, the losses when I do live stream. I do try to do it at least once or twice a week. Can't get yet into the habit of doing it every day. Got a lot of things going on with family and all that good stuff. But I will try to connect at least 2 to 3 times a week. I think I'm going to start streaming the overnight session as well, the Asia, only because there's less competition. I mean, right now you got Topstep, you got PW, you got Rips, you got all the pros streaming. So I think for me at the beginning, it's probably going to be building a community around the overnight session where there's less competition. But anyways, I think that's it for today. 3 trades ended up in the green, 2 red and 1 green trade. But I've been saying it, as long as you have 3-to-1 risk to reward on all your trades and your winning trades are truly a 3-to-1 or more, you're going to end up in the green. It's just the numbers game at that point. All right, so it's slow down. We had the initial ups and downs, and we rode a nice little wave to the downside and captured some profit. I think the learning lesson here today is the right area was identified in terms of the resistance area. But again, there is no level. There is no true level. It's more of an area, price range area. Probably be a little more patient on the short, especially when you're trading a strong move to the upside. Truly identify the true top. This is the wicking. That could have been a stronger green day had I been a little bit patient on that short. Had the right idea, but again, it's all about timing with NQ. Sometimes you're going to nail it, and sometimes you don't. It doesn't mean your plan is wrong. It's just timing. And because you're dealing with 20, 30 points, that's $400, $500, $600 in drawdown. You can't get caught up too much with that. You have to trade the chart or trade micros, right? I don't like micros. It's just not my style. But with micros, I could have seen how you build this short position. Start with two micros, realize a topping, add two more, and then get that nice little flush. You can play micros that way as well. It's just not my cup of tea, but just different strategies, different approaches. You got to find a strategy that works with your personality. Trading is all personality based. You can look at this stream, you can look at my trading, and just like that's not my style. Some people will align with it because it fits their personality. It's always going to be based on your personality. This is why I struggle with this price action. It's because it's so slow. I'm used to a faster moving NQ, but at least today we're not getting so much chop. I'm okay. I like the day because there's no chop. It's just very slow grinds, even to the downside or upside. This was a nice push up, very quick, 100 points. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Where are we? We're between 700 and 720. We're trying to push, so we came back and tested. So this was a resistance area. We came and tested that resistance area. We pushed up. We came back down and tested that resistance area. This is where I shorted, right? This area. And now we're trying to position to the upside on this area that was initial resistance, now flipping to support. We'll see if it continues to hold support, or is this another little topping here for a potential short. Now you have the 200 and the 20 SMA crossing, right? This could be a resistance area. But because bulls have been relentless, I just can't get myself to short this right now. But you got 20 SMA, you got VWAP on the 15-minute. NQ has been unable to position itself above the 20 SMA and VWAP on the 15-minute right now. The bulls weren't so in control, I'd be considering this as a short right now. Based on where we're at. We've been unable to position above the 20 or the VWAP on the 15-minute. But if it does break through, then you're going to the next pivot point, which is 780. So my risk to reward, or sure, I'm not going to give it all those 40 points, but even if I give it 20 points on this, sure I want to do that right now. All right, guys, I think that is it for today. It's CPI, it's crazy. Protect your money. If you're in the green, lock it in. I'm in the green, 3 trades. No point to push it any further. Not trading my funded accounts today. CPI and major news days, I'll play with the evals, but I won't do funded accounts. So thanks for everyone for tuning in. Hoping to come back tomorrow again. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so, smash that like, smash that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so that you get notified when I post content. Careful, it's CPI. Don't over leverage. Don't go too crazy. Be patient. Thank you, and that is all I got for today.